Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can enable the QR code authentication method across Entra ID, right? And what that authentication method is all about, how it works, how we can implement it, and how it is going to be helpful, right? Also, I'm going to show you how we can enable it on the, or how we can sign in as an end user, right? And then we'll see the end user experience as well, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Before that, I would wanted to talk a bit about what is QR code authentication, right? And then what are the benefits of it, and what are the PIN properties that we can leverage, what are the best practices, the security best practices to implement with the QR code authentication method. And then there are certain configurations that we need to know and understand for the QR code configurations while creating authentication method policy, right? And then we'll jump on to the demo for policy creation and how we can assign that policy to the set of groups, a set of users, or across the whole organization if you wanted to assign it across, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, what is QR code authentication, right? So QR code authentication policy is a simple and straightforward authentication method, right? Which is primarily designed for frontline workers, right? Which consists of unique QR code for each and every user with numeric PIN code, right? And the QR code serves as identifier for each user, right? The user can simply scan and sign in. It can also be downloaded and printed, and that can be taken away from the Entra portal, as well as from My Staff portal, as well as from Microsoft Graph, right? And for the convenience of that, QR code can be attached to the badge or any other wearable devices or items wherever that is easy for users to go ahead and use it, right? Now, this can be done by the either authentication administrator, and then they can provide it a temporary passwords to the users, and then the temporary password or PIN, not password exactly, it should be the PIN, and then it can be used, right? So this was all about the QR code. What is QR code, right? And what are the benefits of it? So as in benefits, you can see that uh, it is easier and faster for the sign-in users, right? And then uh, who it is for, right? So the QR code is for the frontline workers, and which we don't have to enter the complex username and passwords to sign in on the applications or shared devices throughout the user or the frontline users or workers who are working from field, and they don't really need to get into the complex username and password entering process. The another benefit of this is that it is printable, and printing a QR code can cost a lot of than the standard way, the QR code authentication method, which we are going to deploy, right? And if we are going to use hardware key, which can be costlier and prohibitive for the organizations because they don't want to spend a lot of money, and uh, it can be a additional cost driver for business to think about it and then whether they wanted to use it or not, right? So this way, it 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 is not going to be a good way, right? Because if they are going to charge or spend additional money, then that is not the benefit, right? There are certain pin properties, right? So pin properties are certain like allowed characters, which includes numbers from 0 to 9. Unallowed characters, there are characters which are capital A to Z and small a to Z, symbols, all these special characters, Unicode characters and blank spaces, those are not allowed. Minimum pin length is set to 8 by default, and we can set it up to 20 digits from 8 to 20. And then pin complexity. So pin complexity is enforced to avoid repetition and common sequences, right? So there are certain patterns which we can leverage, which includes, it says that don't contain from 0 to 9 and 9 to 0. So those are very easy to guess, and anyone can simply try and give it a try and get into the authentication and done, right? Also, it says that don't repeat the sequential numbers like 2, 3 digits in the pin, like 1212, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9, or reverse from there. And an invalid pin error appears when you do such kind of activities, right? There are certain best practices when we are implementing QR code authentication, right? So those are something like QR code authentication is primarily for frontline workers, right? It is not for information workers, and it is recommended to enforce phishing resistant authentication method, right? With or for the information workers and not the QR code. Also, don't enable the QR code authentication for all the users across the tenant, and enable only for the target users or group of users and whoever needs it, right? By creating separate group and target that policy to them, right? Combining QR code authentication with conditional access and other security layers, which recommends or which is going to help us in the compliant devices and access within the network, allow for certain applications and shared mode devices as well, right? And then we can enforce the phishing resistant authentication or MFA policies when user access resources from outside the store or the field place, right? From where they are going to work. And then it is also recommended to replace the QR code when that is lost or stolen, right? That could be the scenario as well. Let's look at some of the QR code authentication method or configuration authentication method, right? There are method policies for QR code, which we can configure, including pin length between 8 to 20. Lifetime of QR code is set to 1 days to 365 or 395 days max, and the default is 365 days. So 395 days is equals to 13 months, right? And 365 days equals to 12 months, right? So that is the duration that we can keep the lifetime standard of QR code, right? And yeah, this way we can go ahead and set it up, right? So let's go ahead and I will simply share my screen and show you how we can set it up this policy, right? And we'll walk you through there. All right. So here is the screen that I have shared, right? And I'm on the portal here, and you can see that. So from the Entra portal, we need to go to home page, and then we have option, which is under the protection here, and then authentication method. And from here, simply we can go to QR code preview, right? So from here, we are in the QR code preview setting implementation. So from here, we simply need to enable this one. And instead of applying this policy, we should apply it to a specific group, because we wanted to make sure this is only applied to a specific group and not for whole organization during at least in the pilot group. And also it is recommended for deployment only for the frontline workers and not for the information workers, right? So this way we wanted to go ahead and select that respective group. So I have this group created, and there's one user in this group, right? And I have added that, so it should be good for us to go ahead and do that. Under the configuration setting, you can see that a QR code or QR pin length is set to 8 by default, and a lifetime of standard QR code days is equal to 365 days, right? So we can increase it up to the 395 days max, which is 13 months of period, right? And if you wanted to reduce, we can go ahead and reduce it as well, right? So this way we can set it up. So now, as soon as this policy is saved, this is going to be configured. But here you can see there are two options, include and exclude. So under include, I have added this group. So I wanted to enforce this policy on this specific group where there are users in this group, right? And under exclude, I can exclude any specific group wherever I wanted to exclude this policy on, right? So I can do that from there as well. So I don't have any group to exclude. So I'm targeting only one group here. So which group is going to target and enforce this policy? And we should be good here to save this setting, right? Because we have set up 8 characters or 8 pin, 8 length. It is 8 pin length, right? So maximum 8 characters can be allocated or accommodated, and for 366 days, right? So let's see, this should be completed, right? So now this policy is completed. You can see it is assigned or enabled to a one group, and you can go back to see the user experience. So let me go back. So this is the user account I'm logged in with, right? And from here, I will simply refresh this page once, and I wanted to show you. Let me refresh this page as well. And from here, we should be able to start that process. Okay, so click on sign in, and from here, we should have options to. Okay, so now we don't have to do anything from here. I will directly show you from the mobile device, right? And instead of that, I will log into mobile device directly. And I have mobile device logged in with me. Okay. So here's the mobile device, right? And I will simply start the process, right? So you need to click on plus button. This is the Android device. So on the Android device, you need to click on plus button at the top. And then you need to click on work or school account, and then click on sign in. Once it is opened, you need to click on use another account. So once you are on this screen, you need to click on sign in options, and here you need to click on sign into an organization, right? So from here, you need to click on this last option, which shows sign in with QR code, right? This is in preview mode currently. So click on this one, and here you need to click on allow, right? So once it is allowed, we need to scan that QR code, right? So we should have that QR code with us. And let me open it up here. So under this page, okay, just a minute here. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I will simply authentication methods, and then, okay, let's go ahead, and it's going to be for that specific user, right? So service account, this one, then authentication method. And from here, we need to add authentication method from here for that account, QR code and expiration. So I'll activation now and enter pin. So I'll generate pin. Pin length must be something. So I'm keeping a simple for now, but this should be something unique and different. So add it. Okay, so I think because of this method, and let's add it. Perfect. So here you can see that we are able to generate the QR code for this account. And now it is going to allow us to either download that QR code as well as we can scan. Seems that is still trying to complete the process. And it is just taking a bit of time. All right, so is that one? It is added, and we can go ahead and go back once and come back here. QR code authentication method. And then I'll simply go back to this. And so once we have here, okay. So once we are here, then we can go to my staff portal, right? And from here, right? So this is something which we are going through the real-time experience, right? So this is something we should go through, and then we definitely have to experience. It is not like even if we don't know how to do it, we should follow the steps and we should go ahead and do that, right? So let's go ahead and check it here. Okay, it is still not showing up here. Let me see. Where is that URL coming from? So the pin download image and print QR code. Okay, pin was saved, but it did not give the option to download the. Okay, I think it should be here, and we should have. So we have pin. You can't view the pin. Okay, and QR code ID activation. Okay. Okay, seems this is correct. We are good here. It is not generating image or QR code seems, and it is just taking time, I believe. So this way we would be able to, we have done the appropriate configuration. It's only the thing that it is not generating a QR code for that respective account, right? So let's see again, and find that account, service account, and then open it up here and open it up this as well. And oh, it is not opening. Let me click this button here. Maybe I'll try to generate temporary. I have time for 3 hours and add it. Now let's see. Let's see if it is going to generate one, and we should be good here too, because we wanted to see that experience in real time, and that is why we wanted to do it. Oh, that is still trying to find out, but seems there is issue. Oh, perfect. So here you can see it has generated a QR code, and for now I'm going to open up this device, the mobile device I have, and I will simply scan this QR code. Oh, it says incorrect. Add a camera of this device. Okay. Seems I don't need, I mean, I don't have the permission to scan, I believe. Yep. Oh, it says scan the one provided by your organization. It is already the same. I'm not sure why it is still not scanning it then. That is strange. Let me try again. Oh, this is not something we wanted to do. Oh, so seems this is something which is not accepting this QR code, and it could be because of this primary. So I'll just remove that primary QR code and try it again, right? And we should be good if in case it needs, or if it is trying to consider both as incorrect, right? And then we should be good here. So I have this opened up here, and I'll try to scan it. Nope, it is still not trying. It is still not doing. So it is doing the same thing again. Nope. Okay. So yep, this is how we can do it. Since there is something not configured, or as you can see, it is already done and it should work, but still we can give it a try one more time. And let me go back and do it again, right from here, and give it a permissions to access. No. Okay, no, it is still not working. Okay, okay, no problem. Anyways, I tried and showed you. Also from here, we have to add that respective method for that respective account, right? And it should be good as it's in preview mode currently. So there might be a lot of changes happening and a lot of things are changing, right? So this way it is going to be set up and used. So yeah, that is how it is going to be used and set up. And as I showed from authentication method as well, right? So yeah, hope you will enjoy this learning and experience. And yeah, let me know what you think about it. Have you tried it, using it, or used it in any of the scenarios for your needs and requirements? And yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and keep watching all other videos around Microsoft 365 Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive for Business, Entra ID, Azure, and FinOps. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.